right, good afternoon, everybody. We'll give this a minute here just to get live and booted up. Today, we'll be bringing you a top 8 match of the OCS playoffs between Bastian Winklehouse and Charlie Arlinson. This is the first game of their matchup. Should be scheduled to start here in just 2 or 3 minutes. Do see Charlie is already in the chat there, and so we're just waiting on Senior Bastian. Oh, there he is now, popped on too. All right, so we'll go ahead and get that going. Fire up the old Twitch chat so I can see what's going on. Oh, I didn't change the stream title. Haha. It still says Hollow Theater. Let's change that real quick. Get rid of this Chris Kelly's big announcement. Get that changed there. Probably should have done that on a different screen. Oh no, what did I do? I closed the wrong window. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. See, I'm rusty and I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Okay. So we've got both of our players just waiting for... Bastian would be the higher seed, so he would get to pick which side he would like to play first and put the table up. If you guys are watching and you can hear me all right, just go ahead and throw a little emoji or something in the chat. Excellent. I will take text as well. Text is equally as appropriate. So, thank you, gentlemen. Hopefully we get a table up here soon, and we can start checking this out. I do want to take a look at something else over here, off camera for a second here on the forums. I'm fairly confident that Bastian has won this event before, but I forget which year. So I was going to pull up the cumulative standings because Joe keeps that spreadsheet from year to year and just adds new tabs. So I can go back and check and see some of the other playoffs. Oh, we do need to update this bracket too. Alright, so last year, Desai beat Paul Myers, both of whom are back still in it this year. There's the OCS playoff. Bastian's going to be playing Dark here in just a second. Okay. Bastian beat Silver Glen back in 2019 to win the OCS. And in our 2018 bracket, All Stars beat... Alright, that's when the first year when Justin beat Mike. So All Stars has won it twice, including last year. So he is our defending champion for this. Bastian won it the other year and would be looking to try and do it again this year. All right, we got Bastian on Shadow Collective. This would be the version he played the other night, I'm thinking, with the docking bays, not with the battle effect. Yep, he's going with the docking bays. And Charlie's got Yoda Communing. And he is starting the battle effect, okay? Along with Walkling and Saitor. Let's go big screen on this. Bastion's alternate site is going to be the Hoth third marker. We saw him do this in another matchup where he used the docking bay, the docking bay puller to pull the Hoth docking bay, giving him a second battleground, a second rebel base location rather, to set up the original Imperial Decree to cancel all the force drain bonuses. May not, I mean, obviously it's relevant here because there are lightsaber bonuses, but I have a feeling there's going to be some interaction going on these two sites. And given the fact that Shadow Collective plays 3 to 4 battlegrounds of their own, highly unlikely that we'll see Communing put any of their battlegrounds out, whether he's playing, whichever, interior Naboo site or battle planes or whatever, or both he might be using. I doubt we'll see Charlie put those into play, and he will most likely just play this like a throne room deck and just try and take over his opponent's sites for the most part. Hi, Jerry. Thanks for watching today. For those of you just joining us, OCS playoffs, top 8 game just getting underway. This is game 1. I believe game 2 is not going to take place after this, scheduled for some time later. And we will also be doing a random pack giveaway for Reflections 4. That pack will be given away after the first battle. We'll do a raffle in the chat for it. So, all right. As far as gameplay action goes, we've got using the Shadow Collective objective to get Drayden's Study. Then you use the Rest Order Secret Plans to get the Coruscant 1.0 docking bay. Used the text here to download Maul. Deployed the Yavin 4 docking bay from hand. Okay, so he's got other docking bays to do the Rebel base locations, and then he's moving Maul to the study. Charlie's activating 7. He's just going, all right, here's my opening hand. I got Big Boy Luke. I've got his lightsaber in hand. I've got the bionic hand in hand. And here he is, just throwing Luke, lightsaber, bionic hand, ready, go. Right to the Hoth third marker. No activation, it seems like. No, Wheezes or Speaks or whatever he would be running there. So he's a little bit behind. Not exactly what you'd like to see. He is using the Communing right now to peek at the top card of his force pile. If there's no battles, in this game, then I'm just retiring. That's what's going to happen. Because clearly I know nothing about the game anymore. If there are no battles in this game, I'm just retiring. This game's going to be all this game should be are battles. So, all right. Did Charlie draw the card or move it? He peeked at it and then drew it. Okay, so I guess he liked what he saw. Yeah, we're going to do something random as a giveaway after the first battle's over. So, if you haven't joined in yet, if you're just getting into the chat, you've got a few minutes, I mean, people aren't going to hear this, but, text your friends. They've got a few minutes to get in here. Because I'm sure he pulls a site. I'm sure Bastian's going to draw a bunch of cards because that's what Bastian does. Pull another docking bay here, get his locations out, kind of set something up. Charlie's going to activate Drain and then, probably draw some cards as well. And then Bastian's probably going to start looking to commit stuff. I would guess on his turn 3, possibly turn 4 if he doesn't like his hand or doesn't have enough force available where he feels like he can drop multiple characters. This is his dark side's location, so he can't like enter the bureaucrat that drain or anything. It's just going to be like, he could take, some of these other locations, the bar, the docking bays, you know, and try and like set up resistance to limit himself to only taking two. But that's going to take a couple turns and commit a lot of cards. So it looks like instead what he's going to do, he's going to drop Django Fett to the reception area, get him a blaster. Then he's going to drop Maul, give Maul, Maul's here already. Maul's going to pick up a blaster as well. Uh, Maul moves to the docking bay. Okay, so now he's got two battlegrounds covered. And now he's going to draw. This is a little bit of a risky move, putting Maul out here. I mean, you got to think, what did Charlie really have in his hand? If his opening hand was basically just Luke, weapon, hand, go, what are the chances of what else he might have? Would he have? This is the one that you can't deploy Jedi Knights. So you can play Jedi Masters. So you can play Qui-Gon, he can play Mace. There's no restrictions on anything else. It's no Jedi Knights, no maintenance cards. So EPP Ray or somebody like that could also be in consideration. Dylan, thank you for renewing your subscription for month number 25. If you haven't already, make sure you message JNAP with, letting him know you hit your 24-month subscription. Every certain milestones, you get some cool prizes. Thank you for continuing to show your support. As expected, Charlie activates. He pays to drain. He didn't look at the card first. I thought he might have looked at the top card and then maybe moved it if it was something he wanted to draw before spending it to drain. He's going to peek now. So Bastian loses Sith Fury, No Escape, and Dr. E. Ponda Baba, all from the top of his reserve deck. And he did play Battle Order, so he would have to pay to drain. So what he's looking at here is 2 ping damage from You'll Be Dead. But that's it. Charlie's still with nothing else going on. He peeked at the top card of his force pile. He did not move it. He drew it. And he's just going to draw a few cards here. Looking for some activation pullers. Looking for maybe an extra defensive card or two. Certainly one could argue Communing is going to put fewer cards on the table. So as long as they're just sort of trading damage, that would seem like it would favor Charlie slightly in this match. He's going to play an Anakin Skywalker. To grab what appears to be Leia, and he's going to take Daughter of Skywalker. He's going to get 2 force loss here from You'll Be Dead. He pitches the Speak from hand, so either he's got a second Speak, or he picked up the Jedi Council Chamber. He also throws away a copy of Rose. Bastian does not pay to force drain. He's going to go for another docking bay here. I would expect it to be the Hoth docking bay to give him the rebel base locations. Yep. All right. He gets the first light bar out, so now he's got the 2-0 kind of in the middle between the two non-battlegrounds. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a battle until at least turn 3, possibly turn 4 in this game. Bastian's kind of just going to go wide on him, it looks like here, and just try and threaten some damage. See if he can force Charlie to actually come to him somewhere. He's going to put out Boba Fett, excuse me, and pull another blaster. Oh, he had another blaster in hand. So there's 3 guns on the table already. He does have his 3 battlegrounds now to pull resistance. Okay, so this was a strategy we talked about being a possibility. So now he's doing 3 ping damage for free with You'll Be Dead. Charlie, who's only activating 11, has to spend 3 to drain for 2 now. But does have a pretty significant card advantage. Looking at what he's got down here in Life Force, this is 38 to 26. So he's put far less cards on the table, far fewer. Far fewer, I think is. Charlie's going to use Luke's text to go look for a force projection. Probably not playing, but certainly wants to see what's in there, see what his chances are. Like if he had another speak and he was going to pull the Jedi Council Chamber, you know, let me take a look and see where it is, see if it's in there. See maybe whose matching weapons are in there for Saitor. You know, if he doesn't have any, like if he doesn't have any weapons he can pull, then maybe he would pay to drain this turn and then just kind of draw some more cards. If he's got some matching stuff in there. Bastian comments, I like how this is going so far after getting the verify. So I'm going to take that to mean that there's a certain lack of matching weapons in Charlie's reserve deck. So Charlie will make the decision to pay to drain for 2 here. And there goes non-virtual decree, as well as something special planned for them off the top. Okay, Jedi Council Chamber from hand. Still looking for a Boss Nash Chamber. All right, we got a Qui-Gon Serene Jedi going to Yavin 4. Bastian comments he was hoping that when Charlie threw the speak away, it's because he had 2 speaks in hand, and then missed the JCC pull with it being active. But as we see here, it was Charlie threw away the speak because he had the JCC in hand. So Qui-Gon is going to get a matching lightsaber. Well, we do see Bastian pull There Is No Try shield. That's his 4th shield pull, so he's got them all on the table for now. Charlie has only pulled 1. Looks like we got that battle incoming. Okay. Charlie initiates battle against Maul. Maul's going to play defensive fire from hand. Fire the weapon for free. Each weapon destiny is +2, and it can fire again in this battle. See if he has a blaster deflection. He's got a sense. Okay. This would certainly be worth a good sense there. There's an Anakin Skywalker for Destiny. So with the gun itself shooting at +1, adding 2 more makes it +3, and then Maul's text to basically be +4. You would only need to draw a 4 to hit him, and there's a pretty decent number of 4 and higher cards in this deck. Plus then if you also have something like a Wounded Warrior or a Sniper or something to just end the battle and get rid of Qui-Gon. So, Charlie swings with the lightsaber, draws a pair of 4s that will hit Mr. Maul. Maul can't save himself in that scenario. If alone during battle, your total battle destiny is +1 for each weapon destiny draw that was completed while alone. So he's going to add 2 to the total right now. If Maul takes a shot, he's adding 1 more. Without the extra pluses, now suddenly you're needing to draw, what, a 6? 6 plus 1, and then Maul adds 1. Yeah, probably doesn't have any 6s in this deck. So if he fired, he'd really only just be adding 1 more to Qui-Gon's total. And he will not shoot. Now, there's the Boss Nash Chamber that he draws for Destiny. That's a 0, but it will become a 2 because of the Qui-Gon text. So it looks like there's a pretty decent chance. And he did have a 4 on top, so if that had gone through, he would have hit. So great job using the sense there by Charlie on the defensive fire. Bastian ends up winning the battle. So Charlie will have to peel a card. He may just lose the Boss Nash Chamber here. He's already getting 15 activation with his guys out and may not need the extra location. Oh, he's going to throw away the generator core instead. Bastian will forfeit the gun used and then lose Maul. I've always thought Maul was fairly important to this deck with the adding so that the guns are able to hit people consistently, especially in a matchup. Maybe not so much in a matchup against Jedi, actually, now that I think about it. Because, I mean, you need to draw 5s and stuff pretty regularly. So there's not a whole lot of those. There's more 4s. But I guess if you can combo it up with defensive fire and stuff, or people like Jodo cast, you know, Maul can really get you hitting some people. So, but I have not played a lot of Shadow Collective, so I don't know what the numbers quite look like to see if it's going to make that much of a difference. Desai commenting in chat, he has 2 times no escape in his Shadow Collective to get Maul back. That's certainly a possibility. You know, we've already seen a no escape go off the top early. It's one of the first cards he lost, I believe. Luke came down, Luke drained, and I feel like, yeah, no escape was one of the first cards he lost. So he could have a second copy. All right. Booster pack raffle drawing time. I said after the first battle we would go ahead and do that. So, we are going to do... How should we do this? Let's just do this completely random. If you're interested in winning a Reflections 4 booster pack, go ahead and type in the chat a number between 1 and 100. I will then do a random die roll, and whoever's number is closest without going over will win the pack. Do that for 30 seconds, so go ahead and type a number. I'm humming the Jeopardy theme song in my head, and for legal reasons will not hum it out loud. All right. Random number to 100. Minimize this down a little bit. Okay. Thank you, everybody who has completed your numbers. I will now go ahead. Oof, Dylan. See what happens when you don't wait until the end of the explanation? But, alright, so Bastian continues to go wide here. Balatik backs up Jango Fett. And then over here we get Rook and Dryden Voss and a gun. He then plays Jabba's Twerps. Once per game, retrieve one force for each of your alien leaders present at any battleground sites. So we've got alien leader Voss here, and Bala's a leader, right? So we got 2 alien leaders, so he retrieves 2 force. He did not have aim high out, so that was free, and that does get him back the Maul that he lost. Got him back to defensive fire and Maul. Okay, let's push the button and find out who won. Generate. It was 5. Okay, so who had the closest to 5 without going over? Brian Fred with 17? No, everybody went over. Alright, so it looks like it's going to be the closest in this case because everybody's over. So, congratulations, Brian Fred. Since everybody was over, it looks like you are the winner, sir. You want to say no one wins and roll again? Alright, let's do that. No one wins, roll again. Sorry, Brian Fred. 61. Brian Fred, you can have my pack because I won the other raffle. So 61. Who's closest to 61? Stimpy at 56. I think that's it. 56. Yep. Yeah, so it was closest to the number without going over it. So 56 would be the winner. So congrats, Stimpy. I'll go ahead and put that information in. Meanwhile, back in the action over here in the game, we've got Daughter of Skywalker coming down and a Run Luke Run. Let's just go back here and catch up on the action. So he did pay to drain. Lost Prince Caesar and a Masterful Move combo. Dropped Boss Nash Chamber from hand. Dropped Daughter. Initiated battle. Now he's doing a Run Luke Run to move Luke from the 3rd marker over to the docking bay. Daughter's going to try and cancel Rook's game text. Your assassins and leaders here are immune to blaster proficiency and Clash of Sabers. She was successful by drawing a 5. She drew disarmed. So Rook's game text is now canceled. Something tells me we're about to see a Clash of Sabers here. There's the blaster deflection to protect Leia from getting shot by Rook and the gun here. The blaster deflection will get grabbed. Yeah, if he's got a clash, he's going to exchange a card. He's going to exchange the bionic hand. Does he have a clash or something in the lost pile that maybe we missed from while I was doing the raffle? Oh, he's just going to get the run Luke run back. Okay. I guess he didn't have anything else in there he really liked. Uh, sure. It's a good card to have back. He's going to swing at Rook. There's a second blaster deflection for for Weapon Destiny. Definitely hit. We got the sorry about the mess combo something here. He's only got 3 cards left in hand, but if he has the clutch interrupt here, this could be brutal. Doesn't look like it. All right, so we're moving on to Battle Destiny. Light side draws a 5, so they have a big power advantage, but between the gun and Voss's forfeit, might not really end up getting too much overflow here. Ooh, the 3 though. Daughter's immune to less than 4. So both these guys are immune to that, and without Maul on the table to add 1, yeah. But forfeit the gun used. Voss, I believe, covers 6. Yeah, Voss covers 6. So the site, all the dark side cards go away, but no overflow or anything here. So yeah, I suppose he could have used the Hut's text as well. This is Yoda commuting to subtract 2. Would have kept Leia alive. Good point, Greg Shaw. Well, congrats, Stimpy. You know, sometimes you just talk these things up in the universe, right? You know, how many times are you having like a live conversation with somebody, and then like the very first Facebook ad you see is something related to the conversation you were just having? You know, the universe, the matrix, they listen, and there you go. Okay, so looking at life force counts, Bastian's got 10 in hand, 21 face down. Charlie's got 3 in hand, but 30 face down. He's facing. Charlie's looking at getting hit for 2 damage with You'll Be Dead here next turn. And then it'll be whatever Bastian has left up his sleeve. But with the We're Leaving sitting on table, isn't really at a risk of taking any type of battle damage beatdown or anything like that. Um, you know, so just draw a couple cards here and look to see what he can find next to go interact with these guys. Whether it's, you know, we think this is an interior site where Boba Fett's hanging out, so you gotta imagine there's a Stunning Leader uh, option for Bastian somewhere. So maybe look for a canceller for that, or another sense or something. And looking at force drains here, he could pay to drain for 2 in either spot. This is the original lightsaber. What's the AI version though? How do I go about getting one of those winning lottery tickets? All you need is $1 and a dream, right, Jerry? All right. Charlie takes his 2 points of damage and loses a sense off the top, and I don't like sand as well. Bastian goes to try to deploy Maul and misses. This isn't like a once per game thing, it's just may deploy Maul here, so certainly if he retrieves him and keeps looping him around. But he will Shadow Collective for something. I guess he's got another gun in there. The one Rook just forfeited last battle? Yep, for Hondo. Now, we saw Charlie pick up the Run Luke Run, so all he really needs is another character. He deploy any character here, battle, Run Luke Run, over. Um, you know, slice and dice some people and see what happens. Or a Sing will come down to back up Hondo, get that third battleground back. Oh, and an IG-88. Okay. IG-88 with Riot Gun. Adds Battle Destiny when with another Bounty Hunter. He also gets to flip his objective now, so during your battle phase, if your gangsters control 2 battlegrounds, he flips, he recirculates, he shuffles. He can add a destiny to power, but more importantly, when he flips it back at the end of his turn, if you occupy 3 battlegrounds, which he does, he causes 1 force loss. So we've got Hondo and what, Balatik? Yeah. For those of you listening audio only, the ASMR version is now available. Okay, so he flips the objective back at the end of his turn after drawing 1 or 2 cards. Actually, he drew 1 card. Saves 1 force. Charlie loses a copy of Qui-Gon from hand. So, life force counts now. Bastian 19 down, 8 in hand. Charlie with 23 down, 7 in hand. Both have just a little over 30 minutes left on their timers as we start Charlie's turn 5. Bastian's got Jango Fett with a gun and Balatik at the first light reception area, and then Boba Fett with a gun at the first light bar, and at the defensive perimeter, we've got Aura Singh with Blaster, IG-88 with Riot Gun, and Hondo with Blaster. At the adjacent Hoth docking bay, we have Luke Skywalker, the Last Jedi, with his bionic hand and lightsaber, and Daughter of Skywalker. And at the Yavin 4 docking bay, we have Qui-Gon Jinn, Serene Jedi, with his lightsaber. Charlie activates 17 this turn, giving him 19 total available. He checks his reserve deck with Luke, looking for a force projection, which he does not find, and then decides to pay 3 with Qui-Gon to drain for 2 at the Yavin docking bay. Bastian will top deck 2 cards and lose a Lawless Time and Chalk. And Charlie will now force drain with Luke at the Hoth docking bay, also for 2. And Bastian is contemplating what to lose in this situation. Does he want to top deck 2 more cards? Or is there stuff in his hand, his 8-card hand, that he feels comfortable losing? He's going to lose a Blaster from hand and top deck Hunting Party from reserve deck. So there goes his 7. Does this thing actually do anything else? Bounty Hunter is escorting a non-frozen captive. Lose a force. If your Bounty Hunter Just captured a character, lose a force. Okay, so it's got some uses in there, sure. Okay. Saitor is going to match up for Leia's blaster rifle. Then we get a Chewie protector for 2 force. And now we've got Solo going to... Chewie protector went to the Hoth docking bay, for those of you who are having visual issues, to back those guys up. But over in the First Light reception area, Solo and Rey have made an appearance. They are in front of Bala, Tick, and Jango Fett. Rey is doing her use pile pull. She has 16 cards to choose from. This is the kind of battle that could go poorly for Charlie, so he may want to just sort of pass. He's got the "we're leaving" effect, but that only works in a battle your opponent initiates. So if you battle into him and then he plays a bunch of defensive interrupts and kicks your butt, you can end up top decking a bunch of cards to your own battle. Something to keep in mind, kids. We are leaving, and the mind tricks only work on me. Says during the damage segment of a battle your opponent initiated. Very key little caveat there. Does not work offensively and let you play fast and loose going after your opponent. Doesn't Balatik pretty much stop Solo? While with Han, he may not add Battle Destiny draws or play an interrupt from Lost Pile. Well, Rey just got a lightsaber and a meditation. So if Rey's going to hit somebody here, could easily hit Bala, and he does have enough force left to battle and clash. Could also, sorry about the mess here. Rey did just pick a card out of 17 cards in the used pile, so Charlie could have some options here. Meditation here. Opponent's aliens are power -1. Forfeit -2 if they are a leader. I think that was the wrong location. Is what Charlie's saying now in the chat. Which is kind of what you guys were saying a few minutes ago. Yeah, going to Bala. Not ideal there. Instead, he's just going to move some people. He's going to move Chewie and Daughter over to the 3rd marker. And Bastian's going to play Point Man to put a card down. Realistically, he's just setting up 2 Destiny draws. And pick up the remaining card in his force pile. So whatever he put underneath, probably a 5, plus the 5 from Point Man. He can activate 15. He's got 17 left, so he can activate right to it, which he does. So it's 5 and mystery card, which we'll assume is at least a 4 or a 5. So if he... And there goes a sorry about the mess off the top from Charlie to the 1 ping from You'll Be Dead. He could have a Wisa or something to subtract 1. Unless Bastian's found Maul. There goes a clash off the top from Charlie. To the drain of 1. That Bastian paid 3 for. So he just lost a sorry about the mess and a clash. Both sitting on the top of his lost pile. Solo doesn't work right now because of Bala, but if he battles at the 3rd marker over here, you can run Luke, run, and then exchange to get probably the sorry in this case. Obviously, we do know he's got Wisas in the deck because he's drawn those. So if he did have a Wisa to subtract here without Maul on the table, that would protect Daughter. This feels like Charlie put himself in a spot he didn't need to put himself into. I mean, he's going to have some flexibility here and might get away with a few things. Especially because Bastian really can only afford to battle in one spot. Or at least has identified he's only... Well, actually, he recirculates, right? So if he hits somebody and then flips, he would recirculate. He'd shuffle afterwards, but he's going to draw the 5 first. So he does battle with at the first light site. Django's going to shoot Han. There's the 5. That will hit. That will flip the objective. That will then let him recirculate and shuffle. So now he's got 11 cards to work with to draw lots of weapons and battle destinies. And by taking Han off the table first, he'll prevent him from, pulling a card back. If Bala lived or Bala gets hit by Ray or something like that. So he's got Ventress to swing at Ray. He's going to play a Lawless Time to add a battle destiny. Because he just fired the blaster. Oh, that's true. It's the third marker. He's adding one from the site, so Wisa would not be enough. You are correct. All right. Anakin's lightsaber is going to fire at Asajj Ventress. And he draws Padme and an Anakin Skywalker V. So that's going to hit Ventress. Bastian comments, it's an interesting location to put Han at, opposite his nemesis. Charlie replies, yeah, I was thinking I needed to kill gangsters. Oh, well. Bastian tries a hidden weapons, but one of the 3 cards in Charlie's hand is a Hear Me Baby. And he will now activate Meditation's game text to add a battle destiny. Charlie will use the Objectives game text to add a destiny to power. So we've got 10 power plus a destiny and 2 battle destiny against 8 power and 2 battle destiny. Pretty decent chance that, well, I guess Solo still has forfeits, right? He just can't be used to satisfy attrition because of the gun. So certainly unlikely to have to take overflow here and pop the We're Leaving. But could find himself in a spot where he just, Charlie's going to lose all his characters. Ventress swings at Rey, draws a Wounded Warrior and a Danik Jericho. So she will be hit. Forfeit -2. Not really going to have any type of impact here. Like we said, both light side characters were pretty likely to die here. Dengar with Blaster Carbine as the destiny to power, adding 2. And then both sides will get 2 battle destiny. Darkseid draws 3 and a 5. Crimson Dawn Blaster, Masterful Move combo for a total of 8, bringing them up to 20. Lightside draws Rey. and Qui-Gon for a total of 10. 11, sorry, because of Rey's text. So light side loses by 9, but their characters do still have most of their forfeit here. So, like I said, they're just going to lose those guys. Dark side only has 3 attrition here, so they could just forfeit the gun used, and that's what they will do. That's pretty unfortunate. So Ventress dies, Solo dies, Rey dies, the gun goes used. So that does save the we're leaving effect for the potential upcoming battle at the Hoth defensive perimeter, but it also just cleared off a couple of Charlie's better characters, took a lightsaber off the table as well. The blaster did go back, so at least that's 1 less damage from You'll Be Dead, but it's a small it's a small trade-off for Bastian in that case. But both players down to 3 cards in hand now. And they're both sitting at exactly 19 life force each. Bastian will not initiate battle at the defensive perimeter. And we'll instead see what Charlie decides to do. He draws 5 cards, and then he'll cause 1 ping damage. And Charlie top decks a Speak. So Bastian's got 8 cards in hand, 14 life force face down, so 22 total force remaining. Charlie's got 18 down, 3 in hand, so he's got 21 total remaining. Now, Charlie didn't have a force to retrieve the weapon because he started the Arrest Order Secret Plans combo. Charlie's going to initiate Yoda's once per game to retrieve a card. So he used Communing to move a card from his lost pile. So he moved the Speak that he just lost at the end of the turn, and is now using Yoda's once per game to retrieve Anakin's lightsaber. Bastian then plays the Imbalance combo to make him have to lose a force. And I'm sure Charlie's got to be thinking about grabbing that, at least for a second there, if not only just to take a 4 away from Bastian, but also because I'm sure he wants to play Sorry About the Mess. Now, it is unique, so of course, he could easily just play Sorry About the Mess later this turn. So, if he does the battle and run Luke runs and then exchanges and all that fun stuff. But Charlie will not grab it and will instead just lose a card. He loses another Sorry About the Mess from his force pile. We'll call that ironic, right? So, Luke's going to drain for 2 at the Hoth docking bay. And of course, he does still have his Walkling retrieval as well. Just waiting on Bastian here to figure out which two cards he wants to lose. While we're waiting on that, of course, we'll say thank you to everybody for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon here to watch this OCS playoff matchup. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for your continued viewership and subscribing to the Twitch channel and checking out all our videos on YouTube and following us there as well. So Bastian loses 2. He loses the imbalance from the used pile and top decks a defensive fire. And now Qui-Gon is going to drain for 2 more. There goes Zam Wessel from reserve deck, along with a Wounded Warrior off the top. So Bastian's down. He's got 7 cards in hand and must really like all of them because he's down to 11 force face down to work with. So he must have some very strong interrupts here. Charlie's going to play an Odin Nesler combo in his move phase for a total of 1. He draws Rey. He is going to move Qui-Gon in front of Boba Fett. And he just realized he screwed up and forgot to get meditation the once per game. Which Qui-Gon's text, I believe, says once per game he had to play meditation on Qui-Gon from Lost Pile. So he wanted to deploy that, I guess, before he moved. And which he, expletive, forgot meditation. Bastian replies, true. Game 2, I think they put it in the Slack channel. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Looks like they're playing Monday afternoon. So same time on Monday is what is tentatively listed as when they will be playing Game 2. I mean, it'll be 1 o'clock for Charlie. His time, it'll be, 8 o'clock at night for Bastian? So, yeah, it should be reasonably close, maybe 8 to 10 cards for however this ends up playing out. Charlie draws up a couple cards. He's got 1 force remaining on 14 in reserve deck. 6 cards in hand now. Bastian's still clutching those same 7. He activated 8, leaving him with 3 remaining in reserve deck. But obviously we know if he flips his objective, he can recirculate and get some extra cards back for Destiny. So, if he battles a Boba Fett, he could use the once per game, take the lowest Destiny card out, figure out exactly what he's working with there, and then, maybe take a shot and hit Qui-Gon. He might need somebody like Jodocast to do that. Don't really know that there's any 6s in this deck. There's the Hunting Party, which we saw him lose earlier. That's his floating 7. But I'm trying to think if there's any 6s that this deck would play, and nothing's coming to mind. He's obviously got some 5s and things like Point Man that we've seen in Masterful Move combos going off the top. Maybe there's a Cold Feet or something. or other usable 5s. But Bastian's not causing any force loss this turn, unless he wants to pay to drain, because you have to control with You'll Be Dead to cause damage, and he does not pay to drain. Instead, he plays Quick Reflexes from hand, so during his draw phase, he'll be able to use 2/4, search a lost pile, take a hidden weapons into hand, or take any one blaster and deploy it for free. We saw him lose the hidden weapons earlier when it got Hear Me Babied, so being able to get that back could be pretty huge with Qui-Gon parked right in front of Boba Fett. Lady Proxima does come down, though, so there's a chance that this battle's just going to happen now, and hidden weapons isn't really going to matter all that much. Yep, Bastian does initiate the battle, so it's Boba Fett with gun and Proxima against Qui-Gon Serene Jedi sans meditation. And there's hidden weapons number 2. And does Charlie want to grab this one? Don't know that the meditation matters all that much if he gets hidden weapons. That would at least let him feel better about that. That's not the kind of thing that screwed him over. Now, if he happens to have a sense in hand or something, or Bastian draws like a 4 and hits him instead of capturing him, well, then he can kick himself a little for the meditation. Charlie will grab the hidden weapons, if only because at this stage of the game, maybe he's just taking a card away from his opponent. And Bastian draws the Danik Jericho, so it is the 2. And Qui-Gon will get himself captured. Bastian debating if he wants to actually seize him or send him used. I think you got to take him here, right? You don't want to run the rest of it. He's got another Qui-Gon in hand, and you just put his lightsaber right back in his deck for him. Yeah, he's going to capture him. I guess maybe he's thinking about who he wants to give him to. Gives him to Boba Fett. That does flip the objective as well, I guess. Oh, because his gangsters control 2 battlegrounds now. Because he's got Proxima and Bala controlling the 2 battlegrounds. So that'll flip the objective and also cause another force loss at the end of the turn. Okay. And you can use the quick reflexes, pay 2 force, deploy the blaster back on, if he has a blaster, right, you deploy it on Django here to up the damage. The other option would be just to take the other hidden weapons and then just ditch it to the force drain. Yeah, he's just going to deploy the gun. But the gun has to go on Bala tick. Okay. So that'll up the damage factor. But yeah, I mean, obviously you could just keep paying 2 force, pick up hidden weapons, lose it to the force drain, pay 2 force, and just kind of keep doing that for a few turns to kind of, soak up some damage. Charlie loses a Wisa at the end of his turn to the force loss from the objective. So both players with 5 cards in hand. Bastian's got 10 down. Charlie has 11 down. And this smells to me, he left 4 back, so this smells to me like he's going to force drain for 2 with Luke. Then he's going to battle and run Luke run. And then Leia's going to shoot somebody. Chewie's not going to be able to cancel anybody's game text here because they have to be power -4 or less than 4. And that doesn't apply to anybody. Ideally, he could do it if Leia, if he got to do all his actions first, right? Leia draws, cancels their game text, makes them destiny greater than ability. Okay, so Leia could just cancel Ig's text by drawing greater than ability. During battle, target opponent's character present, draw destiny. Destiny greater than ability, power -2, game text canceled. Alright, we're going to go a different approach here. Instead, he's going to drop Anakin Skywalker, Padawan Learner, to the bar. There's no force saved, so Fett can't Stunning Leader or something like that. He's going to dig out Anakin's lightsaber from reserve deck that he retrieved with Yoda a couple turns ago. He can battle for free, so even if there is like a projective telepathy or something, he'd still have enough force to get out of it. Anakin also adds 1 to each of his weapon destinies. He does initiate the battle. See if Bastian wants to exchange, because I don't think he did that last turn. Or play any type of other defensive interrupt, like a defensive fire or something. Hidden weapons is grabbed, so he can't play another one of those. But even if you're looking at like defensive fire into Wounded Warrior or something, I don't know how many of those he runs. We already saw him lose 1 earlier. It's a good card in this deck. I don't know if it's a two times. Maybe. I could, you can make an argument for playing 2 of. You hit a decent amount of people. Bastian's clock is running, so I guess we're waiting on him to decide if he wants to use Mr. Fett here. Or if he knows what those cards are. Okay, so here comes the defensive fire. It's the Black Sun Blaster shooting at Anakin. It is the 4, so it's a Wounded Warrior that he draws for Destiny. Okay. So he did have another one available. Maybe the debate was, does he take it into hand and then try and play it? Is the Black Sun Blaster +1? Yes, it is. Alright, so Anakin gets hit, but he's not forfeit 0. Bastian gets to recirculate and shuffle his deck now, so now it's all random at this point. Now he can do his just response. He gets to go get an interrupt, I guess, if he wanted, because these are all just actions. The Wounded Warrior won't still work. It's too late to do that because it's no longer a just. Yeah. But he could certainly get something else here. Or if nothing else, just take out the lowest destiny card, right? Take out a character or something like that and put a decent sized destiny back in there. We've seen him draw a couple characters. Danik Jericho's still in there. Dengar with Blaster still in there. Looks like we're still waiting on Bastian to figure out which card he wants to take. Anakin will swing at Boba Fett. He's adding one to each, so it's pretty likely he's going to hit. There's a BB-8, so that's a 7.28 Destiny, so that's pretty much does it right there. And then he draws the Qui-Gon. Does he have a third? Sorry about the mess. Does he have a second clash? Because that would be insane. Get rid of Boba Fett, get Qui-Gon back, and then beat the crap out of Proxima. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, though. But Proxima has no immunity, so pretty good chance here. Anakin draws, Proxima dies. I mean, he could forfeit the gun and keep her. It's always a possibility that he draws low enough, even with Anakin adding one. Charlie didn't seem overly thrilled with his Destiny draws. And we did see him draw a Qui-Gon and a Rey together earlier, so I'm wondering if those are still together, if he hasn't shuffled those around. Bastian's going to try and shoot again. He blind draws Point Man. Wow. Tell me the card he took was the Wounded Warrior now. So it makes the most sense, right? He is going to make the decision to activate a force. I mean, he just shuffled, so that's a complete blind draw. But does he have something to play? Did he take a lawless time or something? Nope. Okay. I was going to say, if he picked up one of those cards and then blind drew and hit him again, like that would just be... that would be pretty brutal. So, he does add a Destiny to power, so he draws a 4. Light side draws a 5 for Battle Destiny, so no overflow here. Dark side draws a Crimson Blaster, so 13 to 10 for Dark side. Anakin's going to cover, but they have to lose Proxima and the gun. So, Fett will send the gun used. Fett will die. Proxima will die. Qui-Gon will come back and take over the site. And now he no longer occupies 3 battlegrounds, so when the objective flips back to the 0 side, it won't cause the 1 ping damage either, which is fairly significant. Yeah, obviously knowing where the point man and stuff is to just activate right back to it, set up a move, battle and capture Leia. Bith combo is never a bad card. I agree, especially when you're playing against high-level opponents. Just being able to shuffle their deck and screw up, because they're always thinking 2, 3 turns ahead, right? Setting stuff up, moving cards around. Just being able to be like, yeah, shuffle that shit. Sometimes it helps level the playing field just a little bit. Alright, so Bastian's going to activate all 12 force here. He's going to cause 1 force loss with You'll Be Dead. Bastian's got 2 cards in hand, 12 cards face down, 13 minutes on his clock, for those of you keeping score at home. Charlie has 5 cards in hand, 13 cards face down, 11 in reserve deck, 2 force active, and just under 20 minutes now on his clock. So he's got about a 7-minute lead on timers. And he pitches a Luke Last Jedi from a hand. Bastian's going to pay 3 to drain for 1. Just trying to cause some force loss at this point, I guess. And there goes the Anakin Skywalker off the top. So that means that the Qui-Gon is now sitting on top. So it's the 1 that's sitting there. Alright. Bastian's going to deploy Jabba the Hutt to the Yavin 4 docking bay. Now he's going to flip his objective in his battle phase. He will recirculate, because he just needed to gangsters control 2 battlegrounds. So you got Bala, he drops Jabba over here to get the 2nd battleground, flip, recirculate, but he's just going to go right to move phase. He's not going to battle anywhere, okay? But he will get to cause the force loss, because now he's got 3 battlegrounds again. Charlie's going to play a Wisa from hand. He takes out the battle planes. Okay, so he did still have a sight floating around in there. Gets a 0 out of his deck. And puts a 5 into a good spot for him. Bastian's going to draw a couple of cards here. I think about all of these first light sights are all -1, right? Yeah. So you could still pay to drain for 2 and 2. And Bastian's going to use quick reflexes in the draw phase. He's going to pay 2 force to pick up the hidden weapons from the lost pile. So as we talked about earlier, certainly the option to use that mechanic to kind of absorb a little bit of the damage. And Charlie does throw away the battle planes to the objective damage at the end of the turn. Okay. Charlie activates 11, leaves 1 force back, pays to drain with Luke for 2, gets the hidden weapons from hand along with a masterful move from hand. Now he's going to pay to drain with Qui-Gon. He's got 5 force remaining. Is that enough to drop somebody in front of Jabba in battle? It's like Rey in battle. Or Padme. They both cost 4. I don't think he's playing 2 solos. Bastian's going to top deck a blaster and throw away the Gick from hand. He does have Padme, okay. Put her down for 4. I assume he spends 1 to battle here to get rid of Jabba. Yep, that's what he'll do with his last force. Can't imagine we're going to have any big actions here. I think it's probably just going to be Destiny versus Destiny. But Padme's immune to less than 3, and then he can subtract 2 more with Yoda. And he does draw the 5. Bastian debating not drawing. Well, he's going to draw. Maybe just lagging. So he draws a defensive fire for 3, which ordinarily would be enough to get rid of her. But here comes the Yoda's Huts text. So Padme will get to live. Both players down to 2 cards in hand now. Charlie's got 12 life force remaining. Bastian has 8. And we know one of the cards in Charlie's hands is Run Luke Run. Don't know what the other one is, but we know one of the 2 of them is Run Luke Run. He's going to peek at the top card of his lost pile. It's the Battle Planes. He's going to move it to the bottom with Communing. Perhaps just putting a better card into a position where he could potentially... Yep, he's going to move the Anakin Skywalker off the top as well. Just trying to get himself closer to something that might be worth retrieving with Wackling. There goes the Wisa off the top. To the 1 ping from You'll Be Dead. So Bastian activated all 8 force. Again, he does have the option to recirculate in his battle phase, but now there really aren't any other battlegrounds for him to go to. So this could be a situation where, Bastian starts doing some math and starts going, do I pay to drain 1 or 2 more turns and then retrieve with quick reflexes and try and just sort of stall the game out? Or is it a situation where I just kind of draw up here while he doesn't have any force save to Wackling a card back? Alright, Bastian is going to drain, so I guess he thinks he can squeak out 1 or 2 more cards first before this game is over. I think he can too. Yep, that's what he'll do. He'll pay 3 to drain for 1. He'll pay 2 to pick the hidden weapons back up out of the lost pile. And then he'll draw a card or 2. And basically just say go. Charlie top deck to Hear Me Baby to the drain. So he's down to 10. So Charlie's got 12 total cards left. Bastian's got 11. Charlie can still pay. Charlie can basically activate 10, spend 9, and drain for 5, and then like pop Wackling and retrieve 1, and just be like go. Although you'd Wackling first, I would imagine. Maybe in the middle, depending on how Bastian loses cards. I assume Bastian's going to lose from hand, though, here. To try and milk this for 1 more turn. Yep, or 2, possibly. See if he gets a second set of turns. And he may not have enough to drain that last turn, but at least getting 1 more ping damage with You'll Be Dead in might be 1 more card you can squeeze out. So there goes the hidden weapons. There goes a Cad Bane. Qui-Gon will drain for 2. think you get anywhere at this stage of the game by moving. Like if Qui-Gon moves over to the 2-0, like I don't know that that benefits him. It's a force drain -1 anyway, isn't it? So that doesn't even help either. All these sites are drain -1. There goes Crimson Dawn Blaster from hand and Danik Jericho from hand. So right. Yeah, if you drain with Padme here, you take one more card away from him. He activates 5. He spends the 5. He does 1 ping. He drains for 1. He quick reflexes a card back. That leaves him with 5, 6, 7. He can take 5 more damage. That would leave him with 2, so he wouldn't have enough to drain the following turn, but he would. He might have enough to drain. He might have 3 left if he takes 1 up into hand with quick reflexes. He might have just enough to pay for 1 more drain. So Padme will drain. There goes a Lawless Time. He's going to peek at that top card. He's going to deploy Meditation from a Lost Pile on Qui-Gon, get 1 more card out of his Lost Pile. It's not retrieval though, is it? No, it's take 1 into hand. It's not retrieve into hand. So quick reflexes doesn't. It's not actually retrieving. It's non-retrieval retrieval. Love that stuff. So there's the 1 ping damage. He'll lose the non-Run Luke Run card from his hand here, I'd have to imagine. It's impressive. Okay, so that was the other card. Then he's going to pay 3 to drain for 1. Oh, sorry. He does pitch the Run Luke Run, because, again, Bastian can't initiate the battle and recirculate. He doesn't have the board presence to do it. Bastian will probably go move right through to his draw phase. He pays 2, he picks up a card from a Lost Pile. So he's got 2 in hand and 5 down. And he's going to get hit for 5 damage. Because Charlie does have just enough to drain in 3 spots. Unless this is the imbalance combo. Nope, doesn't. Okay. He does retrieve the Run Luke Run. Pays 2, picks the card up. Yep. I think he's 1 card short of being able to get another drain in. Try's just going to activate it all. Pay to drain, take his win by 10 with light side. There goes the Maul he got back, along with the Point Man. Bastian dumps the hit and weapons. Drains for 2 more. Pitch 1 from hand. Top deck 1. Oh, he top decks them both. I guess he doesn't care at this point. He's just going to do the 1 ping damage and then draw up to keep his lost pile down. All right, so it looks like we will have Charlie picking up a win by 10 with light side. Game 2 to be played on a Monday, same time, 2 o'clock Eastern time, 1 Central, 8 o'clock, whatever Germany time zone's called. And Bastian will just draw up that last card. So Charlie plus 10. He's got 30 cards in his lost pile. Bastian has 36 in his lost pile. Yep, so that'll wrap things up here. Thank you guys very much for tuning in this afternoon. I'm sure we have some more games coming up over the next couple days, but we'll definitely see you back here on Monday afternoon for Game 2 of this matchup. And thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and everybody have a great weekend.